Hi everybody, welcome to the dungeon. My name is Robin and today is Flameworking 102.59, the Holly Leaf Charm. So I have been away for a couple of weeks. I've been sick and I just have a bad cold. But I was able to crawl down here the other night and make this really cute little holly leaf charm. And holly is really interesting, the folklore behind it when it comes to the holidays. It helps to bring in the new year. It's a luck charm as well as a protection charm. It's a perfect piece to wear and gift to your friends and relatives during the holidays. In other news, Patrick and I are going to be out of town for a week coming up here in a little bit, but we will be back at the beginning of the new year with more exciting, fun stuff. So with that said, I hope you all have a wonderful holiday. Stay safe and take care, and I'll see you next time in the dungeon. All right, I'm going to get everything started out by making my loop for this pendant. And if you have seen any of my pendant demonstrations before, you'll know that I prefer to make the hook in the 104 glass, make the hook as a bead. It's just a lot easier for me because, it's soft glass and I stress out at the very end if I have to put a hook on something. So I like to have it pre-made. So I have added a couple of wraps of clear glass to a mandrel to make a small bead. And what I want to do is put kind of a platform on this for my leaves to stick to. And I'm going to use my base color, which is a dark grass green. And I'm just going to get a nice bit of this hot and just stick it to one side of the bead there. And then I will take that off and just go ahead and heat that bit of glass up. And I will flatten it down a couple times with the mini mashers. And this will make a nice base for my leaves and everything to go on. I'm just going to straighten this up a little bit. Do be careful here. If the bead release is going to break, this is when it'll do it, when you're kind of torquing on it here. So I just try to be real gentle. If it does break, I will start over again. But this one looks good, so I'll go ahead and just warm that up, make it happy, and I will put it in my annealer that is running at 1,000 degrees. Make sure you have a good part of the handle hanging out of your annealer so you can grab it later. All right, so I'm going to start out with the first leaf. And because I've been ill, I haven't practiced on these at all. So this is like my first time to do it. And I was really happy with how things turned out. It's a little sloppy in the end, but I hope you forgive me. Okay, so what I want to do is get a bit of my, the green nice and hot, like a pea's worth. And then I want to press it into some silver foil. And I do like to use silver foil over silver leaf just because it's thicker and it's easier to work with. And I'm just going to add a little bit more to the bottom and burnish it. And then I'll just keep that warm in the back of the flame while I get my secondary color ready. And this is the dark emerald green, and I thought this would be a really nice, combination color with the grass green. And we're going to just put that right on top of the silver foil. And then start to flatten it out a little bit. So I really like the way that the silver is sandwiched in between these two colors. And as you work the leaf, it starts to kind of break up a little bit. So I just thought that was a nice touch. Let me know what you think. Anyway, moving on, I'm going to punty this up with a metal punty. This is nothing more than a mandrel. And I just am going to touch the very end of the leaf. I don't want to push it too deep in there. So I'll take the other glass off and then I'll spend a second to just heat and pull that excess glass off the end. A little bit more. Nice. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is press it down again. And I'm just looking for a nice thin disc to start out with. Okay, so now at this point I want to make the leaf shape. So I'm heating up the whole bit of glass until it's all the same color, nice and evenly hot. And then I will just pull out my leaf shape with another piece of glass. And you run a nice slow pull. Take your time pulling it out. And once I'm done with that, I want to just press in like a leaf vein. And that's pretty much the start of the leaf. So now what I want to do is get my my flame really small, because I'm going to pull each one of these little separate pieces out here. And of course, my glass, just decided to break right there at the very beginning. So I'm just going to gently grab it with my tweezers and pull it away. And that actually makes a pretty good first point. Okay, so let's do this the right way. Just a little bit of heat in your glass. And then I'm just heating both sides of the leaf where I want to pull the point. And the important thing here is that you let that glass cool down to a kind of a dull red color before you make your pull. It's really important not to pull the glass when it's yellow hot or really red hot. Cooling it down really helps out, because you're only pulling out a very small amount of glass to make these little points. And it's funny, I was looking up holly leaves, and there must be like hundreds of different types of holly leaves. So pick whichever one you like the most. Okay, and I also wanted to let you know that this segment here is in real time. So you're watching me make this leaf as I'm making it. And here I'm just really taking my time and letting that glass cool down. I can't stress how important that is with the soft glass. Let it cool down before you make that pull. And I'm just going to move down into the bottom part and pull a few more out. I think this will be the last one. But either way, you're pulling out all the points that you want to. And then from there, what I'm going to do is just kind of flatten it out one more time. I'm going to speed things up here now. All right, so I'll give it a slight flatten. And then I decided that I would kind of pick each one of those little points off and elongate them just a little bit more. It's a little bit of heat, and you're just tugging out those points. In the long run, after everything was said and done, my final heat kind of rounded all these little points out, but that's just how it is. All right, so I'm going to punny this up now and take the other side off, because now I'm ready to add this leaf to the bail part. So I'm going to grab the bail from my annealer, and I am not dipping the end in water. It is still hot. I just don't want to touch it, but I don't think I need to, because I'm just going to add this leaf by heating up the back side of the leaf and where I want to add it, and then just gently tapping it off and giving it a nice good heat, trying not to lose your points. If you do have a little bit of time to kind of pull some more points off, but you want to remember that everything needs to be nice and warm, and then you're going to put it right back into the annealer. Again, make sure you have your handle sticking out of the annealer so you can grab it later. All right, now a little bit faster here. We're going to make this second leaf. And I think this one came out even better. It was actually a lot of fun to make these. It's very simple, and it didn't take much time at all. So I'm going to flatten it down on top of my silver leaf, and then I'm just going to push the leaf behind it and burnish it down a little bit. And just keep it hot in the back of the flame. I don't know why I'm just keeping it so hot. You don't need to get it this hot. You just keep it warm. And I have my glass. I'm getting it ready. I'm trying to get the same amount of glass as I started with. And then I'll just drop that right down onto the shiny silver leaf and keep it warm in the flame so I can press it down real nice until it just flattens over top of everything. And we'll just have that little sandwich going, or lollipop, or whatever you want to call it, and just pressing it down, getting it to my thickness, and then we'll move on. All right, that looks good. I do like the way that the silver foil worked out in this piece. It just gave it an extra added dimension. All right, so I am going to go ahead and punty this up. Again, when you're puntying up on a metal mandrel, you barely have to touch the glass. You just want to make sure it's in there just the tiniest amount. All right, I'm going to pull off this excess glass again. And go ahead and start pulling out everything. Oh, I want to put my my little vein in there with my whatever it is, razor blade tool. Okay. And now this time, I don't know why I decided I would use a boro kind of a little stringer here as my holder or puller or whatever. Okay, so I want to pull my leaf out to the length. And then I'm just going to, again, take my time pulling all of these points out. Just heating up both sides. And I'll stress it again. Make sure your glass is much cooler when you pull it out. And I noticed that some people in the past, they don't tend to mess with their torch once it's on, but there are times when I find it really necessary to dial my torch into a smaller kind of a pinpoint or a bushier flame, depending on what I'm doing. All right, I'm almost done with this last leaf. And you can make as many of these as you want to, and, have 3 or, however many you want to on your pendant. All right, so I am ready to punty this up. And anytime I'm puntying with glass, whether it be the 104 glass or the boro, my punty is slightly hot and it's touching a cool glass. And you'll have a nice punty that will break off when you're ready for it to break off. All right, so now I got my my pendant back out. I'm heating up where I want to add the leaf. And then this time, I don't know what I was thinking. I just heated that off and pulled the extra point off the end real quick instead of breaking it. And I just didn't want to take up too much time. All right, and now I have my flame in a larger, bushier flame, just so I can keep everything hot in the back of the flame while I'm heating up this dark red color to put the holly berries on. Okay, now for a second there, I did need to cool down the end of my mandrel, so I did dip it in water. Because I curl my finger around the mandrel, it helps me to maintain a steady hand while I add these dots. And I probably could have added 2 dots, added the dots twice, but I didn't. Next time I will add 2 dots to make the berries a little bit bigger, but I think this one worked out okay. All right, now that I have all my dots on, all the berries and everything's done, I'm just going to give everything a nice warm heat and we're done. So I hope you guys enjoyed this holly berry charm. And yeah, this was a fun one, and you guys have a great holiday. And if I don't see you soon, I'll see you right after the new year. All right, you guys take care. See you next time in the dungeon.